All right, here we go. Wack100.
What's up, Vlad? What's up, man?
I would say it's been a while, but you popped up on Reggie Wright Jr.
I popped in. I dropped in on old Reg, man.
Right, and then we ran into each other in a historic moment for independent hip hop media.
Yeah,
me,
that was
you, Trap Lord Ross, academics,
Adam. Yeah,
Adam.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
I just happened to pull up and you were there.
I was there. You know, I did an interview before, and he was like, "Oh, academic showed up. You want to stick around?" I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds cool. Let's do it."
That was iconic to be able to be in that room and just really, because you're dealing with people. You got five or six different personalities to where people see what happens when you don't agree, but you can still get the content. You know what I'm saying? You was the most laid back though.
Well, I felt like at the beginning part, I didn't have much to add. Yeah. I wasn't just going to talk for the sake of talking. Yeah. Like, this situation was a little outside of me and it involved you guys, but I felt like you went a little hard on Ross.
Who, on Ross?
Yeah, I feel like Ross, listen, you kind of went a little hard on him.
No, but that was by design.
Stall him out, Debo.
No, that was by design because you got to remember, like, when you get in certain situations, it's like, nobody's put Trap Lord in the box, right? Now, what I did do is I let my co-host know, hey, I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit on him. Because if I'd have just came out the blue and Adam's on the side, I'd be thinking, oh, how far is this going to go? I said, I'm going to turn the heat up on him. We're going to get the content. But he did good, though. He did good in the box.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he stood his ground.
And I'm going to tell you, the next person that tries him, because he survived that one, they in trouble. He did good. Trap Lord did good.
You know he survived it, huh?
He definitely survived it. Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah, I think this got brought up when I was on an academic show last week, and I was like, well, Wack, you kind of have to just stand your ground with him to kind of earn his respect. And then everything's cool after that. But that first part is a little rocky. You know, I went through it. Took about 10 years.
You know I'm catching heat, being Adam catching heat.
For what?
They saying you on payroll, bro. They saying that you are possibly one of the ones who knows better to speak on Big U. And I said, no, I just think they have a mutual friendship and Vlad really doesn't involve himself in conversations that he hasn't really researched and he doesn't know about. He sits back, he hears it. I said, I know Vlad, he'll go back and look into what was said, and if something's not right, next time y'all in front of each other, he gonna ask you the question. I said, but with that, one thing I can respect is that however they stand, Vlad is letting it stay that way. So I can respect that. But they swear you being pressured not to say nothing.
Pressured by who?
I don't know. They say, I don't know, bro.
I haven't talked to anybody. But my thing is, like, if we have a good relationship, I'm not going to switch up just because something happened to you. It's like, we have a good relationship. That's where we left it.
I had to get on academics the other day about that. Yeah. I said, bro, you acting kind of weird with me. You paint narratives and saying weird things. I said, but when your situation was going on, I stood with you and gave you a lane that had a little light. I said, so I called him. I said, I want to know why you saying the things you saying. He said, well, when 6ix9ine had his situation with the feds, they came to him to get a video. He said they went to Adam to get a document. I said, well, you guys got things that they want. So what would make you think that they would come to me? I don't have videos or documents. I said, and they did this after what? After they were incarcerated? Yeah, I said, you really think while they were running their investigation 2 years ago when he mentioned my name that they're gonna come to me and run the risk of me figuring out is something bigger going on? I said, bro, you gotta think about it. It's one thing if he would have been plotting to assassinate me or something like that. He just simply said, I want to whoop his ass.
That's it.
That's it. Like, you know what I mean? You know, if somebody, and I had to remind him, the last time that happened, when I got a call about Jay Prince, I exposed it. And I told them people, which I haven't, me and Jay Prince, we do our back and forth on the internet, but He's never threatened me. I don't feel threatened by him. I don't think he feels threatened by me. He says his piece, I says my piece, and then we go on about it. So everything doesn't have to be goddamn World War III around here.